I grew up in a little country town in Montana, and when The Matrix came out, I walked into that movie with almost no expectations. I thought it was gonna be some B-movie sci-fi thing, and then I walked out questioning reality, questioning systems, questioning corporations, questioning who actually controls what we see, what we hear, and what we believe. And maybe more importantly to me, it made the future feel dangerous, interesting, worth chasing. The music was a huge part of that. The Prodigy, Propeller Heads, the Crystal Method, that whole late 90s electronic sound felt like somebody had kicked a hole in the wall and let tomorrow leak through. And I think that affected me more than I realized. It affected the way I looked at technology. It affected the way I look at radio. It definitely affected the way I looked at DJing. It even affected the way I build brands later. That cyberpunk anti-system hacker mentality got into my head and it never really left. And now I'm standing outside the Cosm in Atlanta because I want to know if I can still get that feeling. Not nostalgia, not, man, remember when? I mean that feeling where you see something and suddenly your ideas of the future get bigger. Because I think DJing has a real problem right now. We've gotten a lot less futuristic. Look around DJ culture right now. Vinyl is back and retro gear is back. Old school aesthetics are back. Throwback sets are everywhere and I like all of it. I'm not attacking vinyl, I'm not attacking nostalgia, but somewhere along the way, nostalgia became a huge chunk of our imagination. And that's pretty strange to me. Because DJs used to be obsessed with the future. Sampling felt futuristic. Turntables felt futuristic. Serato felt futuristic. All-in-one controllers, they blew my mind. Stems blew my mind, and for a while, every few years, something would show up and make me think, wait, you're allowed to do that now too? See, I don't get that feeling anymore. A lot of DJ culture feels like it's looking backwards. Meanwhile, the rave world and techno world are still pushing forward. Look at artists like Rez. Look at John Summit. Look at some of these massive Coachella performances. The visual world is becoming part of the music. The stage isn't just where the artists stand anymore. The stage is becoming the experience. And that's why I'm here. See, Cosm calls what they do shared reality. Massive immersive visuals, massive sound, a room designed to make you feel like you're somewhere else. And my question is simple. What happens when the venue becomes part of the performance? Now, for most of DJ history, we've been upgrading the same basic things. Better mixers, better turntables, better software, better controllers, better speakers, better lights. But the room itself is still mostly a room. 4 walls, a ceiling, a stage, maybe some LED panels and maybe some lasers. Now imagine the room itself becomes programmable. That's different. Imagine you're DJing and you play a song and you're not just triggering a visual behind you. The entire environment changes. You play a New York record and the room becomes New York. You play something dark and industrial and suddenly the room feels like you're inside of a machine. You play some ridiculous yacht rock record and now you're floating through a fake ocean in 1981. That starts to move DJing into something else. Because now you're not just controlling what people hear, you're controlling what they feel they're inside of. And here's where this starts to get really interesting. Festival production becomes insane. You got these massive video walls, the pyro, the lasers, the drones, the stage design. Hundreds of people working behind the scenes and millions of dollars, and that scale is incredible. But it also means that the level of spectacle usually belongs to the biggest artists in the world. What if you can compress some of that into a permanent room? What if a few hundred people can get into the experience that emotionally feels closer to the festival than a nightclub? That's a completely different model. It's almost like the indoor festival can happen every night. No weather, no giant temporary stage, no rebuilding the whole thing every weekend. The room is already the machine. And if that becomes normal, the DJ booth could change completely. You see, I'm paying attention to something different than the screen this time. I'm watching the people, because I don't care how advanced the technology is if nobody reacts. And it's the same way that I judge DJ technology. A feature can look incredible on a laptop. I don't care. Show me what it does to the room. When do people stop talking? When do they look up? When does everybody pull their phone out? When does the energy change? When does everybody react at the same time? That moment matters more than the hardware, because DJs don't really sell the songs, they sell the moments, right? That collective reaction, that feeling where 500 people suddenly become one crowd. And that's where shared reality starts sounding really familiar. See, DJs have been building a low-tech version of shared reality forever. You put hundreds of strangers in a room, different ages, different backgrounds, and different moods, different reasons for being there. And somehow, if the DJ gets it right, 2 hours later, they're all screaming the same lyric together. That's pretty weird when you think about it. We already know how to manipulate a shared environment. We just mostly been doing it with sound. What happens when we get everything else, too? Okay, I came in here hoping I might get some kind of new perspective on where multimedia is going, and I honestly think I did. I don't think the future of DJing is necessarily some smarter controller with 400 more buttons on it. I think the future might be the room becoming the instrument. Sound and lighting and visuals and the ceiling, the walls, the atmosphere, maybe someday even the temperature. Movement. Who knows? It's all controlled as part of one performance, and that makes the whole AI DJ argument feel a little small. Everybody keeps asking, can AI pick the next song? Yeah, probably. Eventually, easily. That's not the interesting part anymore. The interesting part is what happens when one person can control an entire environment, because technology keeps getting better at generating things, music and video and graphics, lighting, entire worlds. Fine, give me all that. Somebody still has to decide when to change the mood, when to pull back, when to overwhelm people, when to let something breathe, when to surprise them, when to completely change the direction. That's judgment. And judgment is still the part I care about. And this is what brings me back to The Matrix. The movie didn't change my life because the visuals were cool. It changed my life because it expanded what I thought was possible. It made the future feel strange. It made technology feel exciting and a little bit dangerous. And it made me question things. It made me want to build things. It made me want to push against the systems. And I think DJ culture could use a little bit more of that again. We've become incredibly good at honoring the past. Maybe too good. I mean, I love my old vinyl. I love my old gear. I love the history, but I don't want DJ culture to become a museum. I want to see people asking what happens next. I want somebody to build something that makes people say, wait, we can do that now? Because that's the feeling I miss. Not some old piece of equipment, not some specific era, that feeling. The future's showing up before anybody realizes it. Maybe places like this are a part of it. Maybe they're not. Maybe 10 years from now, this will look primitive, and I certainly hope it does, because that means somebody kept pushing. And that's what I want from DJing again. Not just better ways to replay the past. I want us to make the future feel weird again. Because somebody has to.